Hello, welcome everyone. So this is one more episode of Voice of Wisdom. I am back. I've been doing some learning and traveling a lot this January, and interestingly, me and my husband we went on a learning trip for the first time because we are both opposites, and learning together was something very new, so that is there, and that's why I've been busy. There is a one session which is still I recorded that while I was going, but I couldn't post it, so I'm going to post it next week, or maybe invite that person live with you. Let's see. For today we have an interesting personality whose voice has impacted larger audience. He is a TEDx speaker, and he was a TEDx speaker in 2022, I think. 2022, he'll be talking about it. But and also he has spent coaching and mentoring others for past 11 years, and he's a business mentor and a coach. He has done a lot of group coachings, as well as spoken on stage in front of a large audience, and he has impacted many lives. So I am honored to call him on this show. Please welcome Aniruddha Pathak. Welcome, Aniruddha.
Good morning, Shariwa. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be on your prestigious platform.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I am honored uh, because being on TEDx has been my dream also. So when I saw that, and I was like, wow, this person has impacted more people. So whoever talks on TEDx, obviously they have impacted more lives than they think. So uh, thank you for being here today. And
Thank you.
let's start with knowing about you. So I have just given a gist. Maybe it's just a surface level.
Mhm.
So Aniruddha, what do you do, and what is your journey? You talk about your journey. The stage is yours now.
Okay. Okay. So to begin with, I'll give you a small introduction that generally I share. Right. So I started working at the age of 22, and at the age of 32, I realized that this corporate journey is not for me, and it was not giving me the kind of the motivation or the kick which I was looking out for. So that is something which was missing. And then I realized that I need to do something on my own. So I started on my journey in 2012, 13. Right. So it's almost been 11 years that I'm into this journey, and prior to that, I've worked with industry giants like Vodafone India. I worked with Reliance Communication. I worked with Jet
Hmm.
Airways as well. Right. So I did that for 10 years, but I was not having that kind of a satisfaction, or I was not really very happy with the kind of output that I was generating. So it's like whenever you go back to your home and when you fall asleep, you should have a contentment feeling in your mind. So I was missing that a lot. So that's when I started with this journey, and it's been now like 10 years, 11 years that I'm working on to this. And it's been a fantastic roller coaster ride. It's been an amazing journey throughout, because it has given me the opportunity to know myself better, to groom myself better, and to understand the kind of work that I would like to do in the society, right? So it's my way of giving back. So that's what I'm doing currently. And education wise, I have done my arts graduation by choice. Then I did my post graduation in communication and journalism. I did my additional graduation in psychology. I did my postgraduate diploma in HR management. And apart from that, whatever coaching and certifications are required and all, that is something which has happened over,
Hmm.
that kept on happening. So that is something which happened. So that's what I have done. And journey has been amazing. Journey has been really fulfilling, and 11 years were like awesome. The only one word that I can relate to it is awesome. Right. So it
Awesome.
has it has boosted my
Okay.
confidence a lot.
So this awesome journey that you have had, uh, what was there might be challenges, right? Every journey has ups and downs. The journey is like this. It's all no never like this or like this.
True.
So a lot of people talk about successes. So in my show, what I focus on is the learnings from the failures or
Hmm.
the learnings from the challenges,
Hmm.
because a lot of times we do not give importance to those failures because they made us who we are.
True.
In those moments, we might not realize there at that
True.
moment, they make us. So my question to you is, what was the most challenging part of this journey of 11 years, or maybe more, because you were in corporate also? So
Yeah.
anything you would like to highlight, if it's the story, then you can tell the story also. Otherwise,
Mm.
this stage is yours.
Okay. So, most challenging part of my particular journey was when I started on my own in 2012, right? So I had a rough calculation that whatever money that I have saved and whatever I have in my, in my savings and all that, how much time it will help me to survive, right? So that was a rough calculation that I did. And to my surprise, the calculation went absolutely, upside down, right? So I calculated ki, this will help me to survive for at least 2 years, and the funds which I had available with me went off in probably 1.5 year max, right? So
Oh.
that, and the biggest mistake that I did was, I would not call it as a mistake, but I would definitely call it as a learning, because I started on my own without having any backup in my mind, right? So I should have, started my journey and then I should have left my job. But what I did is I left my job and then I started right from the sketch. So that was, a big blunder that I made. And
Mm,
when I was into that journey, and when the finances started moving out, and EMIs were there, expenses were there, outflow was there, inflow was not at all there, and not at all, I mean not at all, right?
mm,
So that was the time when a couple of my friends approached me, and one of my friend approached me saying that that I have an opening in my organization, and I don't have to go through the process of interviewing you or giving you any kind of offer and all that. So I'm giving you an appointment letter directly. And he
oh.
shared the appointment letter and the package which I had when I was into corporate. So nothing wrong to share. At that time, my package was around 12 lakhs. It's almost been 11 years back. And so that time
Wow.
it was a very good amount to
Amazing,
be with.
yeah.
And he said that whatever you are getting, I'll double that. And he gave me the offer. And I was like, double the offer, and I'm getting the offer, and I'm, going back again into the corporate. But then that was the moment which I feel that, you are being tested for something, right?
Yeah.
Because at one point you see that the inflow is not happening. At one point you see that the outflow is, very huge. You see that there are huge responsibilities on your shoulder, and you
Yeah.
also know that at this point you're not earning anything. And on the other hand, you have an offer, you have an appointment letter with a package which is very lucrative, right? And that
Mm.
was the deciding moment for me, that whether I should go for this, whether I should go for this. And that was, the defining moment for me, that I said no to the offer. And
Okay.
that was something. And my friend
It
was
was
really,
a tough thing to decide,
yeah,
yes.
and it was really tough. It was emotionally very tough, mentally very tough. Financially it was like draining me, right, left, right, center. My friend was simply, surprised, and he was upset also. For almost 2 years, he didn't speak to me. Right? He was like, "Yaar, मैं इतना बड़ा offer लेकर के आया, and you are not even giving me the, you don't have the courtesy even to say yes." That that he saw that I am struggling and all that. So I said that, if something is coming to me because I'm struggling at this point of time, so I feel that you're doing a favor to me, which I was not ready for. Number one. Number two, again, I didn't wanted to get into something which was not giving me the kind of push that I was looking out for, right? So it was
Mm.
not giving me the satisfaction, it was not giving me the contentment, it was not giving me the, the kick which I was looking out for. It was again going back to the same mundane job, and every day
Mm.
creeping on Sunday evening that tomorrow is Monday. So I never wanted to
Friday
get.
Friday evenings
Yeah.
look like, yeah, yes. It's
Exactly,
Friday.
exactly. So that's where I feel that that was the biggest turning point in my life, when I said no to that particular offer and I started on my journey. And it was a long time to know to work onto that particular aspect. It took me almost 6 years to get my first breakthrough also, right? So I started in 2012, and when I got my first huge paying client, if I can call it, as not huge as such, but considerable amount, when I got from one of my client, it was almost 2018, right? So that is,
Oh,
it's almost
nice.
6 years that I kept on moving on to it, that karna hai, karna hai, karna hai. one day finally it happened.
Wow. Thank you so much for being honest and sharing that, because it takes self awareness, I think, to understand your learnings and move past the feeling of it, the emotions, and take the learning, extract the learning from it,
Absolutely.
and also to share after that.
Yeah.
Yes, it takes. I have been there. I we'll talk about that, maybe, after this thing, because I connected with so many things what you said right now. Okay. So my next question to you, uh, from that hardest part of your journey, you know what was your top, if you have to pinpoint, what were your top lessons that you would like to not just reflect, but also impart to somebody who is starting, or like who is at that stage where you were actually, when you made that decision?
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So it's like, what I learned out of it is, it as you rightly mentioned, that it was a very courageous move. Of course, that you need to have, a mindset of, being courageous. That's point number one. That's what I learned. Number two is, you have to believe in yourself, right? There are going to be points, there are going to be instances when your own family, right, will
Hmm.
not trust you. Let your family be aside. Yourself will start doubting yourself, right?
True.
Whether I am worthy of this, whether I'm doing the right thing, whether it is the good thing to happen, right?
The
Why
little
I am
voice.
going through, yeah, yeah, yeah. So self chatter that happens in our mind, that actually, drains us to I don't know to what level, but that definitely happens, right? And you need to be extremely patient when the things are not going the way you want them to go, right? And
Hmm.
I realized that, when I moved out of corporate, and the first interaction that I happened again, so it's there are going to be little of, stories of my life also, right?
Yes,
So
please, I love stories.
and so when I started with my journey, and I got the first assignment to have one first session, right? So what I was doing is, I had a printed profile, right? The way I shared my profile with you. So I had a printed profile with me. I put it into envelope, and I was literally going to institutions and probably door to door for the tuition classes, right? That I want 30 minutes or 20 minutes or a 15-minute session with your students. So I was literally going door to door, and I was doing that. And one day, in one particular institution, I got an opportunity to deliver a session, and I was like really pepped up, suit boot chadha karke I went for the session. I conducted it for 30-35 minutes. And being from the corporate, I was expecting कि अच्छा खासा पैसा आने वाला है अभी, right?
Aega.
And that's what I had that thought.
Yes.
So I went out, and the organizers handed over the envelope. So I was like very happy that okay, I'm getting an envelope also now, right? So I went back to my car. I put on the AC because I was literally sweating, and I opened that envelope and I turned it out, right? So I thought कि इसमें से अभी पैसा निकलेगा, and to my shock, 1 rupee coin came out rolling, and
One
I was
rupee coin.
rupee coin came out rolling, and I was like, यार इतना बुरा तो सेशन नहीं था यार. People are giving 1 rupee, it's not possible. So I was like, it could be like, जैसे शगुन में हम लोग देते हैं ना, 1,000 एक, 10,000 एक. Well, I thought
हाँ,
probably
true,
there
true.
could be more notes inside. So I was
Hmm.
like, and it felt very light. Right? So I thought probably किसी ने चेक दिया होगा ना, 5,000 6,000 का शायद कोई चेक होगा.
हाँ.
फुल अमाउंट नहीं रहना चाहिए, तो इसलिए 1 रुपया ऊपर से दे दिया होगा. So that was my thought which was going on.
Thought.
So I literally again, you know, लिफाफा मैंने ऐसे चेक किया और मैंने ठीक है, एंड 100 रुपए का पुराना नोट आता था. So that came out, and it was like, and that was the moment I realized, that 101 rupees that I got for my first session which I conducted, and
Hmm.
I'll be very honest, I cried that day, right? And I was completely into tears, and I literally cried for almost 15-20 minutes. I don't even remember the time for how long I was crying, but that day I realized, sorry to use this word, but that day I
Yeah.
realized that, अपनी औकात क्या है समझ में आ गई थी, right? That
Yeah.
is something which made me realize that, that this is something which, is, corporate में जब आप हो ना, right? So it's something which is different, because you have a backing of that name of that organization that gives you the
Yeah.
value, right? When the name
Yes.
goes off, you are nobody,
Yes.
right? So now today also, many people come up with the thought that, that I am XYZ because of the surname that they carry. So even today, if you see, I have not put my surname in, in front of my name, because I don't want
हाँ.
that to be my identity. I want my name to be my identity.
You are Aniruddha. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So that is something which I wanted to do, and that is which I would like to share with everybody, whoever is listening to this live or recording or however it is, right? So there are going to be testing times. There are going to be, the moments when you will be tested in terms of, like, universe आपको पूछता है that, whether you are happy with whatever you are getting or you want something more. So if you want something more, you will be tested for something different. And that's what the test happened with me, right? 101 रुपया पहले सेशन का मिला. I cried that day. And that day I decided that, there will be a day when for one session, probably people will pay me thousands and lakhs of rupees. And it took me 10 years to reach to that destination. Right? So that when that happened, and when I look back, I said that, yeah, chalo, theek hai, zindagi achhi chal rahi hai.
अच्छी चल रही है.
So that's that.
Wow. I totally can relate what you're saying. I mean, I think in a trainer's life, ये moment तो एक बार तो आया ही आया होगा. Like as a trainer or a coach, I think this, if you are a trainer who is watching right now and you have gone through this, please let me know in the comments also. And uh, one more thing, if you're watching this as a replay, then put hashtag replay in the chat, or sorry, in the comments. And if you're watching this live, then put hashtag live. Okay. So there were few people here, I couldn't see them. So thank you, whoever joined. And right now we have one more person joined in. Please write your name in the comments so that I know who you are, because here I am not able to see your name. I think you have joined from my profile. Great. So if you have any questions also for Aniruddha, then you can just put the questions in the comments. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. Okay.
Sure.
Aniruddha, what do you think about failures? What your thoughts are? Like generally, क्या लोग सोचते हैं, and what you think about failures?
In one word, if I have to put it, I would call it as a blessing.
Okay.
Right? Because that is something which, and why I am calling it as a blessing, because, unless and until we fail, we don't know what we are doing wrong. Right? Or if I can put it like, unless and until we fail, we don't know how we can make things better. Right? So if I'm blessed enough, I'll keep on committing mistakes. I'll keep on having failures in my life. And the more failures I have, there is a more possibility that I can grow and learn and become successful as early as possible. Right? So that's what failure is for me, because I would not term it as a failure as such, because that is something which I have been grooming myself and training myself to think
Grooming,
about that.
yeah.
Okay, this is not a failure. This is something which is probably an opportunity to look at it from a different perspective, or from a
Different
different
perspective.
angle, or from a different way of, probably it's trying to teach me something else. Right? So failure is not a failure for me as such, but it is definitely an opportunity for me to analyze, evaluate, and understand myself, that how I can do things better. Right? So it's more of like a stepping stone for me.
Stepping stone. Yes.
Yeah.
So when a person fails, what what was the biggest skill you think that contributes to that person's growth from that point, like from the point of failure?
Acceptance.
Oh.
I have failed. Right? If we can accept this fact that, okay, things have not worked, okay, I failed, okay, I have made a blunder, or I have made a mistake, or things didn't go the way I planned them to go, that's fine. That's the first thing that I think people should accept, that okay, things have not worked the way I wanted them to work. And acceptance is the first thing, because anything can be changed only if you accept it. If I don't accept it, that I have failed, I will never look out for other opportunities, that how I can grow as a person. But if I accept the fact that, okay, I have made a mistake, that's fine, then I can look out for other opportunities, how I can grow, how I can make things better. So the first thing
Yes.
that anybody, whoever is experiencing failure, I would not, again, as a word, probably people may go with it, right? But if anybody is experiencing failure in their life, that's absolutely fine. And why it is fine? Because if you are experiencing failure, life is giving you an opportunity to make things better. and
Mm.
it can be made better only if you accept things. Right? So acceptance is something which I think that
Acceptance.
that should be the first thing that comes after failure.
That's really profound. We have Smith Shaha, who is commenting, success is nothing but just another chapter after failure.
Yep, that's true.
True.
That's so
And
true. It's a series
we
of
have
failures.
Haraj. Okay. A series of failures. Yes, a series of failures.
Yeah.
And, when you say failure, in my mind, there are few failures or few mistakes, I would say,
Mhm.
um, which are not repeated. Like,
True.
then it makes sense that you're growing. When
Exactly.
mistakes are repeated, that means you have not learned the lesson. Maybe you have not accepted things, something like that.
Absolutely. So true.
So uh, I think that acceptance was point on. I think yes,
Thank you.
the first thing a person needs is acceptance. Thank you so much for sharing that. We have Inderpreet Bharaj. Thank you for joining us. And if you have any question for Aniruddha, you can just put. If you want to know something about Aniruddha, you can put that question also. Okay. Um, so currently, what what are you doing? Like, what are you doing as your mission, or what is your contribution that you want to give to the world?
Okay, so mission, I would put it in one particular statement is I am on a mission to help minimum of 10 million of budding coaches who are just starting with their journey. Now, when I say budding, I mean who are into the industry from 0 years to 3 years. Like so, 0 to 3, jinka
Hmm.
is the time period that they have been into coaching industry. I'm helping them to get more clarity, right? So I am more of a, like a confidence and clarity mentor for them, right? So I help them to become more confident. I help them to gain more clarity. I help them to build up their online coaching businesses, right? And that is where
Wow.
I work on very simple for I work with them on building their visibility, on helping them to create their authority, and also build their program if they have something, and help them to refine their results as well. So that is something which I'm working on at this point, and that's
Wow.
what my mission is. That's what I'm looking out for, and this is something which I'm looking out for since almost now it's close being 4.5 years that I'm doing right now.
Wow. आई थिंक लाइक साइकोलॉजिस्ट का भी एक साइकोलॉजिस्ट होता है, साइकेट्रिस्ट का भी एक साइकेट्रिस्ट होता है, वैसे कोच का भी एक कोच होना ही चाहिए.
एग्जैक्टली होना
दैट्स व्हाट
चाहिए.
आई फील.
एग्जैक्टली.
Because as a coach I understand, because there are a lot of communities that we are part of, there are a lot of organized associations we are part of, maybe
True.
networking we are part of, but
Mhm.
to have a particular person who understands your industry and
Correct.
knows where the glitch is in your
Exactly.
system.
Exactly. So why I started with this journey is also, it's because, as I said, 6 years I was struggling with it. So I started in 2012, right? And to be very precise, July 2012, right? So when I started with my journey, for almost good 5 to 6 years, I was not knowing what I was doing wrong, right? So six
Mm.
years is a good amount of time. Now I can see people who are getting into the industry, they are becoming successful in 5 years or 6 years. Now, when I say successful, I don't only mean by the monetary success, right? In terms of creating their impact, in terms of creating their community, in terms of creating their
Mm.
program, or reaching out to more number of people, or creating a tribe for themselves, or a community for themselves. So 5 6 years
Yes.
is a good amount of time, and I feel that I was so stupid and naive at that time that I was not
Mm.
even aware that there are people who can help me to grow in my career. Right. So that's when I realized, and when I look back now, I can see that there are many people who are just like me. Right. That's where I thought that it's a huge a gap which I can see that people are from the age group of age. When I say age, I mean the career age. Right. So people are into the industry who are like from 0 to 3 years, and they are struggling, right? They don't know how to market themselves. They don't have the confidence of going in front of the camera and talking and sharing their heart out,
True.
right? There are
True.
people who are like having so many things with them, certifications है, degrees है, सब कुछ है, लेकिन
सब
ये
कुछ
सब
है.
होने के बावजूद भी आउटपुट कुछ नहीं है, right? So there is something is missing, no, right? And that's where I
Yes.
realized that when I got into in contact with good people and good mentors, they told me, or they taught me that what I should not do. And that's when I
Mm.
realize it's very important for every particular person to understand that there are hundred of people who will tell you what to do, but you will find very handful of people who will tell you what not to do.
Not to
And when
do.
you know what not to do, that's where the growth happens. मैं
Yes.
सब करना
Then
चाहता
your
हूँ, मैं ये
options
करूंगा।
become visible.
एग्जैक्टली मैं ये भी करूंगा, मैं वो भी करूंगा, मैं ये मैं वो, मैं शक्तिमान, मैं
I can
सुपरमैन, मैं
relate
सब
with
हूँ।
it.
मैं सब कुछ हूँ, लेकिन मैं क्या नहीं हूँ एक बार मुझे समझ में आ गया कि भैया यहाँ जाने की जरूरत नहीं है। Once I know that
Hmm.
this is something which is not for me, that helps me to grow to get the right direction where I want to go. And that's
Hmm.
where I felt that it's very important for people to know and understand. And that's when I thought that I have the understanding of it. I have made the blunders in my life. I have spent good 10, 11 years now into the industry. So I thought that this is something which I can help people to avoid so that they can get the speed which I never had in my life. Right? And
Yes.
6 years is a long period of time. I
It's a
still
long
feel
period. Yes.
6 साल बहुत ज्यादा होता है यार। इतना टाइम नहीं लगना चाहिए किसी को अपने अपनी लाइफ का सक्सेस टेस्ट करने के लिए।
I can totally relate with it. I think we have to talk a lot after this also, because
Yeah, of
I
course.
relate with that. Yes, definitely. And so I this question popped into my mind just now.
Mhm.
How much on an average you have spent on learning about what you were missing? So can you give a range or something, because I want people to know that knowledge, the cream knowledge, is not free.
True.
The knowledge that people are seeking for their particular problems, it's not free. The freeloaders, lot of, they want free this, free that. I want them also to know. So yes, please.
I'll answer it in two steps, right? So first thing is free. So whenever we are attracted towards this term of free because it's like हमको लगता है कि यार free में मिल जाएगा तो बढ़िया है, right? But whenever
Hmm.
if there is anything which we have got for free, we don't value that. And I'll be very honest when I share that. If you have not invested a single rupee in earning anything, like for an example, if I have this pen with me, right? So
Hmm.
if I've got it for free, and if I
Hmm.
lost it someday, I'll not feel the pain of losing it
Yes.
because
Yes.
subconsciously I'll have in my mind, ठीक है, free तो था ना,
Free to the
right?
correct.
It's not only about this pen. If even if at all it is something which is bigger, like for an example, अगर मुझे free में गाड़ी भी मिल जाती है, right?
Hmm.
I will not be very caring for my car or for my bike for that
Yeah.
matter because subconsciously I have ठीक है free है ना. I have not invested into it. Now, when I say invested, I don't mean only financial investment. I mean emotional investment also. I mean mental investment also. I mean
Yes.
spiritual investment also. मैं जब तक इन्वेस्ट नहीं कर रहा हूं, मैं अपनी एनर्जी इन्वेस्ट नहीं कर रहा हूं, till
Hmm.
that time it is always going to be free, right? So when and now coming to the point of how much I have invested into it in terms of my energy, my money, my physical aspect, my mental aspect, खून पसीना मिला करके अगर मैं फाइनेंशियली अगर मैं इसको बोलूं तो आई हैव इन्वेस्टेड मोर देन 15 lakhs, right? So far, whatever
Wow.
I have learned, more than 15 lakhs. That's a rough figure which is coming to my mind at this point, right?
Hmm.
And I've enrolled for huge programs, like one program for 4.5 lakhs, one program for two and a half lakhs, 3 lakhs or
Yeah.
something. So
Yeah.
मोटा मोटा अमाउंट वहीं चला जाता है। छोटे छोटे कोर्सेज भी अगर हम पकड़ लेते हैं, छोटा छोटा सर्टिफिकेशन या छोटा छोटा प्रोग्राम्स जो हम अटेंड करने के लिए जाते हैं वो भी पकड़ लूंगा तो दैट विल काउंट टू 5-6 lakhs. So that way it is more than 15 lakhs. That's the amount that I've invested in myself so far.
Hmm.
And why I'm calling it as an investment, because at every point of an investment I have got something as an ROI, right? So my return on investment, I was focusing on that part also, right? कि चलो इतना
Hmm.
invest किया उसमें मिला क्या, right? So many times
Yes.
what happens is that we invest into something, but if you are not getting the value out of it, we always
Value
feel
out.
okay, I feel cheated because
Yeah.
I gave X, but I am getting minus X. Right? So if that is happening, then that's the problem. But whenever you have invested X, and if you are getting X plus or X plus plus, then
Yeah.
that's more than what you have invested. So ROI अच्छा है आपका. That's what I would
Hmm.
definitely, anybody whoever is looking out for growing into their particular life in whatever aspect, it's always about how much you are investing. Now, when I say investing, involve yourself into into anything emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, right? And
Hmm.
don't this is something which I've learned out of my own experience, that don't look at the money that you're investing, look at the value that you're going to get out of it.
Get it. Hmm.
Whatever you're getting out of it, if that justifies whatever the investment is, please go ahead with it, because ROI is definitely going to be more than what you have invested.
Hmm. This is the same message for working professionals also.
Yeah, of course, of course. Even the working professionals, if they want to grow into their life, they have to upgrade their skills. Right,
Hmm.
today the industry is growing and changing at a very rapid pace. Right, so if people are not upgrading their skills, tomorrow the organizations are looking out for an easy alternative. So अगर
Yeah.
आपका काम सिस्टम कर दे रहा है, राइट, तो फिर आपका काम क्या है? और आज के डेट में सिस्टम तो बहुत सारे काम कर देता है, right? So there will be a time when there will be a redundancy in your job, no? So if you don't want to be, replaceable, you have to learn a skill which is irreplaceable. Right? So it's not
Right.
only about the industry that I am into. Like, I'm into coaching and mentoring. I don't mean that people who are into self development or who want to start something on their own, they have to
Hmm.
keep on learning something new. But anybody who are happy with their jobs, right?
Hmm.
Still, they have to keep on upgrading themselves if they want to grow into their life. So today, if I'm working as a junior level, like say for an example, I'm an a manager, or I'm probably an engineer
Associate.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an associate or something. If I want to grow to a bigger level, and unfortunately what happens is, if I want to grow to a bigger level, I need to think from the aspect of, if I have a team tomorrow, right? Do I have the
Hmm.
man management skill or people management skill? Do I have the leadership skill? Do I have the
Hmm.
conflict management skills? Do I have the resource management skills? Right? So these are
True.
the skills which are important when the person grows. It's not only about the technical skills that the people will have, because
Yeah.
technical skills have a limitation. After a certain point of time, there are going to be systems, and there are going to be AIs and programs which will do that technical work.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
it comes to non-technical work, that's when the people are required, and that is something which is irreplaceable. People need to focus on that aspect as well.
Yes, Inderpreet is here saying, I started my small business of retailing honey from home during COVID. That
Mhm.
time I was very consistently doing my 100% and growing it. But now, when I am getting orders on its own, I'm not that enthusiastic about doing that much for it. How do
Mhm.
you keep yourself consistent to give 100% every day? That is
Mhm.
question from Inderpreet. Varaj.
Okay. So let's be honest with this. One particular thing, you can't be 100% consistent every day.
Yes,
Again,
I wanted to.
accept the fact, right? Accept the fact कि आप हर रोज 100% नहीं दे सकते,
True.
right? So now, very important, it's not only about the consistency, it's also about the discipline aspect, right? Now it's like, for an example, आप ये सोच के देखिए, right? And it's not only for Inder, right? And with folded hand I'm saying this, right? अब आप ये सोच के देखिए कि आप किसी रिश्ते में हैं, या आप किसी नए नए रिश्ते की आप शुरुआत कर रहे हैं, like you have fallen in love with somebody, right? Initially you are giving everything to it, right?
Hmm.
Now when you have built up a relationship, now you are taking that relationship for granted कि अब तो चल जाएगा, अब तो हो रहा है. Would that work? The obvious answer is no. Right? After becoming a parent, till becoming a parent, we are giving everything to our kids. After becoming a parent, if we are not being considerate, or if you are not being empathetic, or if you are not being caring to our kids, would that work? The answer is
No.
obviously no. That's how you have to treat your business also, right? You have put in your hard earned money, hard earned your emotions, everything. You have invested everything into your business to become what it
True.
is today. So if you are not giving output, or if you are not giving your 100% to your business, is it justified?
Hmm.
If it is not, and it's not only about the business, it's about the people who have trusted you and they are investing into you now. Are you doing justice to the people who are investing and who are trusting into you? If no, is it justified?
Yes.
Right? So
And
everything.
sometimes even I feel that consistency के पीछे इनोवेशन की जरूरत रहती है. मतलब शायद से आप कंसिस्टेंट इसीलिए नहीं हो बिकॉज नाउ इट्स टाइम टू इनोवेट समथिंग.
या और कई बार ये इनोवेशन और ये सब से भी ज्यादा आपके डिसिप्लिन का हिस्सा बन जाना चाहिए.
हम्म.
राइट? जैसे रोज सुबह उठ करके मैं हाथ जोड़ता हूँ भगवान को, थैंक यू बोलता हूँ कि थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गिविंग मी वन मोर डे टू इम्पैक्ट समबडीज लाइफ. right? So if that's a part of my discipline, if that's a part of my ritual every day, if I'm doing this, right, that makes me happy about it, right?
Yes.
So आपके जब तक वो डिसिप्लिन का हिस्सा नहीं बनता, आपके जब तक वो रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी का हिस्सा नहीं बनता, वो आपके लिए वो जरूरी भी नहीं होता, राइट? जैसे हम रोज सुबह उठ करके हम सोचते हैं कि भैया आज खाना खाना ही है. डू वी एवर से दैट यार आई एम नॉट बीइंग कंसिस्टेंट, चलो आज मैं खाना नहीं खाता हूँ? डू वी एवर से दैट? That
No.
doesn't happen. No? That's something that is what, it should be as important as having food. Your business should be as important as like, anything which is important for you to live, right? When that happens, because it's not only about you. When you start a business is not about you, it's all about the people that you're associated with, right? So
Oh.
today I may not be giving my 100% because I am not feeling well, but what about my clients? They invested in me, looking at me, saying that, कि ये बंदा हमको सपोर्ट कर सकता है, ये बंदा मेरा बिजनेस ग्रो करने के लिए हेल्प कर सकता है, right? So what is their fault? If they are invested in me, it's my, moral responsibility that I have to give my 100%. उनके लिए तो करना पड़ेगा बॉस, right?
But
And
every day same consistency.
it will never happen, and that's why I said the first thing is accept the fact that every day you cannot be 100%. And whenever that happens, give yourself time to rejuvenate, recalibrate your own thought process. That, okay, today is the day when I'm absolutely, like, for an example, we may feel that we are not keeping well, or we may fall ill, may happen that, right? So if
Yeah.
you know that physically, mentally, you are not in a position to give your 100%, take a break. Tell your clients that, boss, today I'm not keeping well and not be able to entertain any of your calls. That's fine. Because you're dealing with humans will understand your human emotions and human feelings also. And that is what is required. Once that is done, move out. But when you're back into pink of your health, give 200%. That's when it will do more justice to your audience and do more justice to your clients. I hope, Inder, that answers your question.
Yeah, he's saying that comes as a relief, that statement which you said. Accept. 100% nahi hoga.
Thank you.
Okay, great. And okay, so we are almost at the end of this, and I have two more questions for you.
Yep.
Yeah, Indrapreet is also saying some days it's 80%, some days it's 200%. Yeah.
That's fine. Average मेंटेन होना चाहिए, बाकी सब चलता है. बाकी सब चलता है. That's absolutely okay.
Great. So over the time period, just you average it out, it's the same. No problem.
Right, has to.
एक दिन
True.
20 दे दो, next day 180 दे दो. No problem.
True.
Okay.
देना जरूरी है. नो परसेंटेज
देना
प्लस माइनस हो सकता है, आप देते रहिए. आप जब करते रहेंगे तो वो आदत बन जाएगी धीरे धीरे. इतना
True.
इंश्योर करना है कि ऐसा नहीं हो जाए कि आज 20 दिया कल 100 दे दिया. इट शुड नॉट बी लाइक दैट. इतना डिफरेंस रहेगा तो ये इनकंसिस्टेंसी है, राइट?
True.
मैं 80 दे रहा हूं, आज मैंने 70-75 दे दिया, स्टिल ओके. मैं 100 दे रहा हूं, मैंने 80-85-95-90 दे दिए, स्टिल ओके. मैं 100 दे रहा हूं, मैं आज 10 दूंगा, then it's a
Oh,
huge
yeah.
difference, right?
True.
So that will fall under inconsistency. But when it's like, कि चलो ठीक है, थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे तो सबकी लाइफ में चलता है, right? आज ना मेरा 100% देने का मन गया, it's okay. 90 fine, 80 still okay, 79 हो गया तो अलार्म बजना चाहिए कि बॉस इसके नीचे नहीं जा सकते. Because that is where, again, it's like, as I said, business is not about you, it's about the people that you are connected with. Till the time you are looking at the people that you are associated with, till the time you are connected with the people that are being impacted because of your work. Now, when I say impact, not only in terms of the negative impact, it's about the positive impact that you create because of
Positive
your
impact.
business.
Yeah.
So when you know that how many people are getting impacted because of your business, you will not feel like giving even 99%. You will always push for giving 100%. जब आपको वो दिखता है ना कि आपका असर कहाँ हो रहा है,
हाँ,
राइट?
true.
आप डॉक्टर के बारे में सोचिए, अगर आप डॉक्टर के पास जाते हो और वो बोलता है कि यार आज मेरा मन नहीं, मैं आपको 2 इंजेक्शन कम दे दूंगा, चलेगा? दैट वर्क, राइट? आप किसी इंजीनियर के पास जाते हो, आपका घर बना के दे रहा है, वो बोलता है कि चलो ठीक है, एक दीवार में मैं 2 ईंटें कम लगा दूंगा, वुड दैट बी ओके? इट विल नॉट बी ओके, राइट? इट्स एज सिंपल एज
Yeah,
इट्स एज सिंपल एज दैट. जब हम वहां कंपेंसेट नहीं कर रहे हैं, वहां हम एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं, यहाँ पर भी नहीं होना चाहिए.
absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you, Indraprit, for asking that question. It was it was really worth listening about that answer. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Um, Thank you, Aniruddha. So now, today you are the voice here. Okay, you are the voice who is going out there.
Mhm.
Whom do you want this voice to reach? Like, it can be the target audience of yours, yes, but if it's anybody else also, you can mention that, or just whoever you want that to reach. Okay, and what is that one message for them from all this experience of yours? What is that one message that you have for them from directly from your heart?
Okay. Okay. So I don't know whether I am qualified or eligible enough to give any kind of a message to any person, but I'll definitely take this opportunity to share what I have in my mind at this point, right? So anybody, it's not only about for my target audience or anybody who is listening to this live or recording, however it goes. The only thing that comes to my mind is people always think that either we are born winners or we are born losers, right? But what I have learned out of my experience is we are just born choosers. हमारी चॉइस डिसाइड करती है हम जीतेंगे या हम हारेंगे. और इट्स नॉट अबाउट विनिंग एंड लूजिंग ऑल्सो. इट्स अबाउट बीइंग इन द मोमेंट एट दैट पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. अगर मैं अपनी जिंदगी का आज का मौका अगर मैं 100% दे रहा हूँ, जैसे आज मैं शारिवा के साथ इंटरेक्शन कर रहा हूँ, अगर मैं यहाँ पर अपना 100% दे रहा हूँ एंड टुमारो इफ आई एम नॉट देयर, anybody who listens to this particular recording will no should have that feeling कि बस बंदा अपना 100% दे करके गया, right? Tomorrow if I get my call, the ultimate call which everybody is going to get some or the other day, right? If that tomorrow happens, I should not have a regret in my mind that I could have done better,
Yes.
right? There are only two choices in our life, right? Either we can live our life with a mistake or we can live our life with a regret. And trust me, out of my experience, it's always better to live your life with a mistake. जितनी गलतियां जिंदगी में आप कर सकते हो कर लो, राइट? क्योंकि रिग्रेट में जिंदगी जीना आसान नहीं होता है. आई हैव सीन hundreds and thousands of people around me who are always thinking that I wish I could have lived the life the way I wanted. It's
Yes.
always easy to say that, यार काश मैंने वो कर लिया होता, काश ये होता, काश ऐसा होता, right? It's always better to live your life with a mistake कि यार मैंने कर दिया, वो नहीं चला, वो बंद पड़ गया. It's okay. It's
Hmm.
absolutely okay if you do something, if it doesn't work or it doesn't give you the result that you were looking out for. It's fine. But at least have that confidence that, okay, I was feeling like doing something and I did it. You could generate result out of it or you were successful into it. It's something different that comes
Hmm.
after a certain point of time. Abhi, it's very important for you to understand just two things. You are just a chooser. आप क्या चुनते हो ये आपकी लाइफ का
ये
ट्रेजेक्टरी
काम.
डिसाइड करेगा. दैट्स
Hmm.
वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सेकंड, live your life with lots and lots of mistake. जिंदगी में जब आप एक पर्टिकुलर उम्र पे जाकर के आप जब अपनी लाइफ को पलट के देखेंगे ना, तो आपको ये लगना चाहिए कि यार इतनी सारी गलतियां करके जो कुछ बन करके आया अच्छा है.
Hmm.
पलट के ये नहीं लगना चाहिए कि यार वहां मौका था, यहाँ मौका था, ये चांस था, वो चांस था, काश मैंने ये चांसेस ले लिए. Never have that feeling of a regret that I could have done. Always have a feeling that, okay, I did something. It's okay if that gives you a result or it doesn't give you a result. That's fine. You
Hmm.
tried something. That's very important. That's
Yeah.
I.
That is wow. I'm still thinking about मेरा पूरा फ्लैशबैक आया है सामने आके. Actually. And what you said rightly was we are born choosers. Absolutely bang on. And I'm going to remember this and write this somewhere in my vision board or something, somewhere where I can see it every day, because this is something that I tend to forget. We are born choosers. So thank you so much for that golden nugget of wisdom,
Thank you.
because you know, when you feel that you don't have choice, the decisions go haywire. When you feel that you know, uh, हम हमेशा गलत चूज करती हूँ, तो फिर द कॉन्फिडेंस गोज डाउन. And this is so empowering to know that we are born choosers.
And it's very
Because एक
important, like, as you said that, कि मैं कभी कभी कोई चीज गलत चूज कर लेती हूँ, right? Instead of focusing on गलत करती हूँ,
hmm.
just focus on मैं चूज करती हूँ, right?
Wow.
अगर आप चूज कर लेते हो ना, ठीक है, कम से कम ये आपका डिसीजन है, right?
Hmm.
And not deciding is also a decision, by the way. Not taking a decision is also a decision, that I am not being able to decide, right? So it's
Yes.
always better to at least have that, satisfaction that, okay, whatever is happening in my life is my choice,
It's my
right? I
choice.
am not being driven by something external forces. Of course we are being driven by external forces. Spirituality is very different, right?
Hmm.
We always have that thought in our mind that we are being driven by somebody else, and that's absolutely fine, but कम से कम आपके अंदर जो चल रहा है वो तो कोई बाहर
Hmm.
से ड्रिवाइन नहीं होना चाहिए ना, राइट?
Yes.
मैं खुश हूं या मैं उदास हूं या मैं हंसी से मर रहा हूं या मैं दुख से मर रहा हूं, ये मेरे अंदर हो रहा है। ये चॉइस मैंने किसी और को क्यों देनी है? मेरी खुशी का चॉइस या मेरे गम का चॉइस मैं किसी और को क्यों दूं?
Hmm.
Right? Why external factor should make me happy, or why external factor should make me feel sad? Why I can't be happy with myself? Why I can't be sad with whatever I am going through at this point of time? And once you
Hmm.
start having control on that particular thought, as I said, acceptance, right? जब आपका वो acceptance आ जाता है ना, जब आपका वो confidence आ जाता है, ठीक है, it's my life, whatever I am having at this point of time, it's chosen by me,
Hmm.
and that's fine. That's absolutely fine, right? जब आप शादी ब्याह में जाते हो तो 10 चीजें रखी होती है सामने. Do we go
Hmm.
and eat everything whatever is there? We don't. We just go and look out for everything, but we take whatever is required for us, whatever we feel like. That's our
Hmm.
choice, right? That's our choice. That's the importance of our choice, कि आपको जो चाहिए ना वही आप प्लेट में लो, फिर आपको वो प्लेट में रखी हुई चीज खाने का मजा भी आता है.
Hmm.
जनरली शादियों
Yes.
में लोग भर भर के फोर्स कर देंगे, अच्छा एक लड्डू और एक ले लो, एक
पूरा.
जलेबी और ले लो, एक गुलाब जाम और ले लो. इतना सब दे
Hmm.
दिया तो वो खाने का मन नहीं करता है. फिर वो मीठा हो, पसंदीदा चीज भी होगी ना, तो आफ्टर सर्टेन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम यू फील लाइक आई डोंट वांट टू ईट दिस. व्हाई? बिकॉज इट्स नॉट
Hmm.
योर चॉइस, इट्स बीन गिवन टू यू बाय समबडी एल्स. इट्स एज सिंपल
True.
एज दैट. लेकिन अगर आपकी चॉइस है तो आप 50 पानी पूरी भी खा लोगे तब भी आपको लगेगा यार मैं ठीक है 60वीं भी खा सकता हूँ. Right?
Yes.
That's your choice. That's as simple as that. अब मैं इससे सिंपल नहीं बना सकता.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And is there anything that you are coming up with? So we are at the end of the session. So if you are coming up with something, then I would be honored to share that with all the people who are watching. And I can share that, if there is a link or if there is something. By the way, guys, um, Aniruddha is an aspiring author. I read that in his
Yes.
bio also. So,
Yes.
would you like to talk about that, or do you
No,
want to keep
definitely,
it?
I'm coming up with a book. I'm still on to the blueprint of it. I'm working onto it, and there are
Yeah.
multiple aspects which I wanted to include in my book, because it's like I feel that your book is just like your baby, right? So you give
Hmm.
your everything to it, and you want it to be, something which is going to be there even after you left, right? So that is something. That's why I'm
That's
working
a
on that
legacy.
particular aspect,
Hmm.
right? So I'm coming up with a book, definitely. But the urgent or the immediate things which are happening is every week from next month, 1st of
Hmm.
February onwards, what I'm going to start is every week I'm going to come up with a hand holding session, and that's going to be
Okay.
for all the coaches who are there outside, right? Who want
Hmm.
to have any kind of interaction, who would like to, have any kind of sharing or understanding or something like that. Definitely, I'm going to have one day, in a week, which will be dedicated only for that particular aspect.
It's
It's
a
going to be
one-to-one with you.
it's an open right? So
Okay.
so I'll be taking questions, I'll be interacting with people, I'll be giving them whatever is required at that point of time. I am not saying that I'm having all the answers, right? So there are going
Hmm.
to be instances probably when I may not have the answer, but I'll tell you that I don't know, and I'll definitely come back with the answer also, right? So that is
Hmm.
something which is going to happen from
Sure.
1st of Feb, right? So that's what is going to start.
Great. So, do share the details with me so that I
I'll
can
definitely
put
share with you.
details whenever you can just share, and I'll put those details here. And the coaches who are watching this, I myself being a coach, I know that we need hand holding. And if you are somebody who is starting off and you are thinking of also starting off, your coaching journey, then have somebody like Anirudh, who who knows the industry, first of all, who has been a coach himself, and also knows the pitfalls, so that he can guide you to what are the skills that you can develop to, not just in your coaching, not just the way you coach, but how you market yourself as a brand.
True.
So, as a coach, we are very good at, teaching, coaching, whatever it is. But when it comes to marketing, when it comes to, putting our brand out there, coming in front of the camera is no my friend. So I don't have that problem. But, but for a lot of coaches I've seen in front of camera, they get very conscious. And, so branding, like being a business person, is also important, as well as being a teacher. So these are two different skill sets. And I think as a coach for your business, if you have any questions, you can reach out to Anirudh. He has promised that he'll give the link or the details about this Q&A session which is happening in February, right? So
Yeah.
if you have any
February is
questions.
going to start for every week. Every week that's going to happen.
Okay. So, yeah. So I think the link will be the same, right? For every week.
Yeah, link will be mostly the same, and those who will register, they will get the Zoom invite as well.
Okay. Okay. So, look out for any details under this video or in the description, which I'll share later. So, thank you so much, Aniruddha, for being here. This was so enlightening, even for me, along with audience. And I have taken this nugget of wisdom. I think I've connected with a lot of things that you have said. So thank you so much. I'm really grateful that you are here today, and I believe that it's not a coincidence. I believe that.
Thank you. It's all divine plan.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Shariwa. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And I love this interaction. And I'm absolutely sure that you are definitely going to impact millions of people in coming time, right? So all my best wishes to you. And thank you so much to all the listeners and the viewers who are here live and in the recording as well. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
So this was Aniruddha Pathak for us, and next week we are going to have a different person on this camera. It might be a recording, because I had actually recorded with an amazing person when I was traveling. I had recorded that, but I couldn't post it because I didn't have my laptop. And to be honest, there was some technical challenge which I had, so I couldn't post that. I will be posting that recorded video, or I might just call that person again on camera and let him interact with you live, because he has impacted people for last 12 years. He's into health industry, and it's going to be an amazing session, even if it's recorded, which we have already done, or if it's live. Okay, so thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next episode of Voice of Wisdom. And please keep learning, even if you are not a coach, even if you are working professional, even if you are in different product business or any business, keep learning something or the other about yourself and about the things in your industry. Okay, so thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.